Good morning, dear students. So, children, the topic we are going to do today is of writing section, that is article and speech writing. So, in this particular video, we would be covering two topics of our syllabus of writing section, and you may get any one out of them in the examination, or you may also get a choice between these two. So children, this video is common for class 11 and class 12 since the topics are in both the classes, right? So, introduction. What is a speech basically? What is an article? What is the purpose of writing it? And what are its requirements? So that is very important to discuss. Otherwise, that is not your prerogative. Nothing is to be included in your examples. But yes, you must know these things. See, children, article and speech are two main items which need great effort to be written impressively. So I must say that a lot of effort, a lot of hard work is required to draft a speech and article, right? So simply you can say that it's an art and it's not everybody's cup of tea. The most appropriate line about drafting an article or a speech is that it's not everybody's cup of tea. It means everybody cannot write. If you say that you are a group of 30 students in class 12th, so hardly 3 to 4 students would be able to do it correctly, and that too hardly. Means it may happen that none of you would be able to do it, right? So it is an art. It is a kind of skill. The art of writing an article or drafting a speech, how it can be acquired, I have given a tip here. So that is very much time taking. It can be acquired by reading books, exploring magazines and newspaper. So children, that art, it can be obtained by, obtained by reading of books, reading magazines, reading a lot of literature, newspaper, like whatever you find good, read it. So if you develop your reading skills, if you work on your reading skills, you can have good writing skills as well. So good writing comes from good reading. So that's very much obvious, right? So people doing IELTS or likely to do IELTS know it better. Like good writing skills come from good reading, right? So one must have keen observation of life in order to obtain necessary information. The people who want to write a draft for an article or for delivering a speech, they must have keen observation. They should be keen observers. It means they should note each and everything very minutely, each and everything related to the topic on which they are writing. So they must have keen observation, minute, observation, minute to minute observation. So necessary detail, necessary information can be obtained, and it should become easy to write an article and a speech, right? So both these items, article and speech writing, so they require two types of skills. Which two types of skills? Creative skills as well as critical skills. Creative skills means to write sentences by your own. Critical skills means to write amended sentences, to give amended thoughts, to analyze the thoughts of others and put the ideas in front of them, right? So writing an article and a speech, I would repeat, that's not everybody's cup of tea. That's not a thing that everyone can do. It is a difficult task, a bit difficult, but yes, if you have been asked to write an article or a speech in 10 marks, so you all can obtain at least 5 to 6 marks if you write something about that. But yes, there would be a rare child who would attain 10 out of 10 marks in this topic. So be very careful in its formation. So children, I have given some value points for drafting an article and speech. So the value points would be same, right? So how to write it? First thing that should be taken care of is the title of the article or speech. It must reflect the gist of the subject matter. It means the title or the heading, it should be so much attractive, it should be so brief that it should reflect the subject matter, right? So it should be of 4 to 5 words. Generally it is of 2 to 3 words at some of the places. So it may last up to 5 words, but it should not be very lengthy. You should not take it to 8 to 10 words. That would not be fair, right? So it should be appropriate and to the point. Means only the relevant and important words should be included in the title, right? I hope that's clear. Second point is body. The body means the main content which we are writing. The body of the article may have 3 parts. Very obviously, beginning, middle and the end, or you may say beginning, middle and conclusion. So the beginning should be original, impressive and relevant. Again the same thing, original, impressive, the wording used should be impressive and relevant, only important information. And the middle should contain appropriate facts, figures, arguments and reflections. It means in the second paragraph we may give some facts, we may produce some proofs which are called arguments and reflections. And the conclusion should be in just 1 or 2 lines. It can be of 3 lines as well, but in rare cases the conclusion is of 1 or 2 lines only. It should not be abrupt, vague or superficial. It should not come all of a sudden. Conclusion should not come all of a sudden. So it should not be vague or superficial. Like people should not think that an artificial solution has been suggested and you have to go by it. No, it should come naturally, right? So next is style. Article and speech, these things should be written in simple and elegant style. We need to avoid complex sentences. Bombastic words should not be included, like the words which are difficult to comprehend, which all and sundry are not able to understand, those words should not be included, right? A draft rich in vocabulary helps in scoring good marks. That's a tip if you want to catch. A draft means a writing which is rich in vocabulary. Like if you use variety of words, that helps in scoring good marks. How variety of words? See children, we know synonyms of a word. Like suppose the word is conclusion. We can write in conclusion. We can write in the end. We can write to conclude. We can also substitute it as in a nutshell, right? We can also write eventually or at the end. It means conclusion word has many synonyms. So similarly, there are several words which are having many synonyms, many similar meanings. So a good draft should be rich in vocabulary. Means suppose we have to use that particular word 5 times in our speech or that article. Suppose we have to use it 5 times. So we should use the 5 synonyms. Like the same word should not be repeated over and over again in the writing passage. So it creates the impression that we know only a few words of the language. So our vocabulary should be displayed. That helps in scoring good marks, right? I hope that's clear. Last is use of quotations or sayings. So children, these may be used when appropriate to the subject only. It means I have seen some of the students thinking and sharing that if you write quotations you will get an extra mark. If you write quotations you will get 2 extra marks, or you will create a very good impression on the evaluator. No, not at all children. What is the fact? The thing is that quotations and sayings should be used whenever we have appropriate. It means whenever we have learnt or we have created some appropriate quotation, only then it should be used. Means we should not take words or sentences from here and there, just write down it, whether that's appropriate to the theme of speech or inappropriate. No, we should write only the relevant and appropriate quotation. Right, I hope that's also clear. All the value points are clear. First was title. It should be appropriate. It should be in 4 to 5 words. Body, that has 3 parts, beginning, middle and end. Style should be elegant. No much difficult words should be used. No very easy language should be used. It should be formal. It should be written in an easy language. It should include a rich vocabulary. And last, quotations, using of quotations and sayings or wise sayings, idioms, etc. should be used wherever those are appropriate only, right? So, here are some of the examples of articles in front of you. See, read the question first, children. So, suppose you are Rekha or Rohit. You have seen the following news item in the newspaper. See, I have written that in the bold. So, you have seen the following news item. Video games, internet, cell phones, and other high-tech gear are just part of growing up in a digital world. But parents are concerned about the amount of time their children spend with these and worry that it might be distracting and cramping academic and social development. So, taking ideas from the write-up means the paragraph given above in bold letters. Take ideas from that and use your own ideas. Write an article in about 200 words describing both the benefits and drawbacks of using these high-tech devices. So I feel this must be one of your favorite topics. See, playing video games, using internet, cell phones, laptops, desktops, and other high-tech devices that has become a mandatory part of growing up in this digital world. And most of the parents are worried. They are concerned about the amount of time children spend on these gadgets. They are always worried that Arvad spends 14 hours a day on mobile phone, 15 hours, 16 hours, 18 hours. They play video games, they do this, they do that, right? So they feel that this excessive usage of these high-tech gadgets is distracting the children from their academic and social development, like it is taking away the children from their studies. So you have to write a draft expressing your views on describing both the benefits and drawbacks of using these high-tech devices. You need to write an article, right? So see how you write it. High-tech devices, boon or bane. Just in very simple terms, very expressive title is given. High-tech devices, boon or blessing. It means it is a sort of discussion whether these devices are boon or these are blessing or these are both. Written by Rekha, right? So see, what content I have included. I'll make it a bit close so that it should be more visible. Science has progressed tremendously in the last 50 years. It has not only made the life faster than before but also provided high-tech gadgets to the present generations. So science has been praised here, right? So high-tech, these high gears are just part of growing in this world, and all these gadgets have become the part and parcel of our life. It means we feel that we cannot do away with it. Just let me know if you are habitual of using a mobile phone and a laptop. So you must feel very much monotonous and empty when you are not having your mobile phone or your laptop for 3 to 4 hours. Like it would be very hard to pass time, right? So like we have become highly dependent on these devices, and ironically it is a younger generation whose lives are completely ruled by these devices. So it cannot be denied that these devices have made our lives easier and comfortable. We cannot deny that fact, because we have become so comfortable. We can talk to one another at any place, at any point of time. We can do video chat, like we can exchange our ideas, we can participate in conferences, we can participate in seminars, we can take thousands of benefits if we use these devices wisely, right? So these are these have brought a revolution in the field of communication, computer technology, space research, transport, in the field of academics. Like in every area where human approach is there, these devices are proving very helpful. But at the same time, they have opened up many avenues for the growth of knowledge and have given a definite form to the wild imaginations of man. See, that is inventing a threat. However, we find that our children evince excessive interest in these gadgets. Every parent feels that their child should not use these devices in excess, right? They spend a lot of time, like they play video games, they use cell phone, internet, right? So This has made the parents concerned and worried, and they feel excessive use will definitely distract, so it can adversely affect. So what is the solution here? We must check children and prevent them from wasting time on these, otherwise they would suffer academically as well as socially. Like, just in simple terms, a solution is that the gadgets have become a part and parcel of children's life. We cannot deny them. We cannot ask them that the gadgets would not be provided to them. We cannot say no. Obviously, they will do they will show stubborn attitude, so they would be stuck to their talk and they would ask for the gadgets. We cannot deny, right? We have to give them. But yes, what we can do, we can keep a watch on them. We can motivate them from time to time that yes, usage of these gadgets is necessary, but it must be done very wisely. It must be done in such a manner that it should not affect their academics and their social life. So these high-tech devices and gadgets can ruin their purpose only when they are used in moderation, right? So whenever excessive use is done, whenever inappropriate use of these devices is done, so it may lead to the fall in academic and social level of a child. So these should be wisely used. I am not saying that these should not be used. Of course, our life has become so much dependent upon these devices that we cannot do without it, right? So see, if I am asked that my laptop should be taken away by somebody for a day, no, I cannot keep without it. I feel it very difficult, right? So we need these devices, but yes, we should use it in a wise manner, in an appropriate manner, right? So I hope that's clear. So children, the next example is, your name is Ashok and one day you see the following notice on the school notice board. See, suitable articles, poems, stories and jokes are invited from students for publication in the forthcoming annual issue of school magazine. See, an invitation card is there. Morning Star compositions should either be written in legible hand or typed in double space on one side of paper. The contributions should reach the undersigned latest by 30th January, like any date you can be given, and they should be the original works of the students concerned. So, Somesh Kumar, 11th B, student editor. So, you decide to write an article for your school magazine, college magazine on the topic, the aim of education. See children, a great liberty is given. So, you are given such a title in which you can choose any topic. So this would be very much fortunate if you get such a kind of example in your examination for a temptation. It means your college is going to publish a magazine, right? So you need to prepare a draft, you need to prepare a write-up in the form of an article to be published in that magazine, right? So what you would write in that should be highly comprehensible, should not awake any kind of jealousy, should not create any kind of hatred, or any it should not hurt anybody's religious or sentimental feelings. So take the topic very wisely, choose the topic very wisely. So the example given here is of the aim of education. It means education is directly linked with the students, and this would be the appropriate topic to be published in the magazine, right? So same pattern, first the aim of education and written by Ashok, right? So see what details have been included, that education means the transfer of knowledge from one person to the other and from one generation to the other. You see, for example, a teacher gives his students whatever knowledge he has gained from books and experience. In the same way, a student learns from the books which he studies at school or college. Real aim of education is to give us knowledge to make better human beings in life and live the life in a more meaningful manner. So, see children, in the original first paragraph, the purpose is described. The purpose is described, that what is the need of education, right? How it is imparted, how it spreads, right? So the real aim of education is to make us better human beings. Its purpose is not to give us jobs. it doesn't prepare us to become rich in life, to become popular in life, but it gives us sense to live life in a meaningful manner, right? So in second paragraph such things should be described, that education is a thing that can dispel the darkness of ignorance. It enlightens us. So it is with the help of education that we develop our minds, and development of the mind which distinguishes human beings from the animals. So what is the difference between human beings and animals? Human beings can use their brain, animals cannot. At many of the places they cannot, right? So a truly educated person should serve as a torch bearer. It means should serve as a teacher for the uneducated people. So such things are to be included for an article. In conclusion, we can write that the true aim of education is to make man refined in thoughts and actions. We often say, he is a graduate, he cannot do such a silly talk. That means if a person is educated, it is considered by the other people that he should be a wise man, right? He will do the things and actions wisely. So it teaches him to treat all human beings as brothers, not as subordinates. So true education makes people good citizens. So this is all about the article. I hope you are clear with it, that how it should be drafted. So further there are examples. If you are given a topic to write on modern Indian woman, educated, empowered and emancipated, right? So how the modern Indian woman had become educated, had become powerful and emancipated, free, right? How she has obtained liberty. So written by Kirti means that is the title you may give and the name of the writer who has drafted it. See what things we can include in such type of an article. There is no denying the fact that 21st century belongs to the women folk. So a very abrupt beginning, a very good one, that nobody can deny the fact that 21st century is the century of women, right? So in modern days, Indian women have outshone men in almost every field. You can mention many of the fields. That gone are the days when women used to be suppressed and they were captivated in the four walls of the house under the male dominancy. So over the past few years, the condition of women has improved a lot, and all thanks to the spread of education and awareness, right? So women empowerment could become possible due to the spread of education and awareness, that everybody has been given equal rights by our constitution. So there is no difference between a man and a woman's rights. So that's why different kinds of programs have been there, running there in the country. People have been engaging themselves in those programs, and yes, these educational programs and the awareness that has come among the people has helped in bringing the best in women, right? So you can also mention that women have been progressing in all the fields, be it science, be it any kind of technology, be it sports, be it academics, be it politics. You can give the names of Mother Teresa, Sania Mirza, Kiran Bedi, Indira Gandhi, Shabana Azmi, Kalpana Chawla, Barkha Dutt, etc. Like be it the film industry, the list of Indian women, they are shining in each field, and that is by no means exhaustive. There is no end to this list. Like I have jotted down just a few names, so there are several names. Like a lot many females are there who have achieved popularity and glory in life, and yes, the fact is that they have done it by the dint of their hard labor. They have done hard work for it. So last paragraph what we will write here, see, but all that has not been achieved overnight. So it doesn't mean that Indian women became independent, educated, empowered and emancipated in one day. They had to struggle very hard to come out of this. Why? Because in a country like India, where women were shut in the four walls of the house, like taking out women out of the house, it was considered a taboo. So it was very hard for her to break off all those shackles of old age practices of sati, etc. And it was a hard struggle, right? So many NGOs have been working for the upliftment of women, non-government organizations, and many males also have played a keen role in this. They have played a key role in this. So government funded schemes were there, literacy schemes were there, westernized ideas have been taken. So all these things have been jotted down to make a difference in the lives of Indian women. And there are still millions who are still asking for, they are lagging behind, they are asking for liberty, so they are still suppressed. But yes, many have achieved these milestones, and we are hopeful that the days will change for them as well very soon, right? So simply you can write it like this. So similarly, children, your homework includes writing and editing of these two articles. The first is take care of the old. It means this is about the vanishing of old age homes that are existing in our society. So you can write any name. So how to take care of the old people that are there in your house. So you would write it, that how old people are treated in homes, what treatment they should be given, and why they deserve that treatment. They help their children to walk, they help their children achieve education, they help their children eat food, they avail their children with all the necessary facilities in their life. They live a tough life, in their 30s 40s, so that their children should be made comfortable. But what treatment the children have been giving to the old people is very sad. The description is very sad. They are ruthlessly thrown out of their homes, like they are treated as useless and unwanted people. Parents are mentally as well as physically hurt because they are not given proper food, proper facilities that are needed by them in this old and crucial age. They are not given fair treatment, like because they have spent all their money in making the life and career of their children, but inhumanity is at its peak. At its peak means inhumanity is at the top. People do not treat their elders in a proper manner. So see, you are to make a draft on this, that how we should take care of the old. Like there should be no old age home left in the country or in the world anywhere. Like what type of treatment, what are the efforts required by the common people, and yes, what are the efforts required by the government as well. You have to describe both these aspects, right? Like government should also avail them with medical facilities, with some emergency services, with some social security schemes. And what should be the duty of people, that they should understand and give time to their parents. Like money is not everything in life. Service to the elderly people should be treated as service to God. Like these things you can include. So make a draft of this. I hope the purpose of writing this article is clear to all of you. Moving to the next one. See, this also you have to do by yourself. I'll give you hints. Child labor, the worst form of child abuse. You can write any name. So see, one of the common sights in India is a boy working at a tea stall. 9 years boy, 10 years, 14 years of children working at the tea stalls, working as laborers, in shops, in restaurants. So you would see millions of poor children working in factories, farms, tea gardens, shops, industries, tea stalls, beauty parlors, right? So any kind of shops you would see. So they start from early morning and do it till late night. So they have to work very hard. They are subjected to physical, mental and sexual assault sometimes. Like they live a very hard life, and the most important thing, they are deprived of their right to education. So that has been given to every child by our constitution. So their play and recreation, they cannot think of it. See how hard the life is for them. Like they don't get any time to play because they are so much burdened with the responsibilities and duties of their life, right? These poor children are forced into employment. Either their parents are suffering from sheer poverty, right, or they don't have their parents, they are orphans. So all these happens under the eyes of government, all these happen under the eyes of political parties in power, but nothing is done in literal form for these poor kids do have the right to live freely. So something should be done, like strict government control, strict efforts from the sincere efforts from the side of government are required in order to put an end to this child abuse, this child labor, right? You need to write a draft on this. I hope the purpose of writing it is also clear. So we move to the next section, that is speech writing. So children, I'll explain one type in detail and you would do the next two examples. Of course, I'll drop you hints, but yes, you have to do it by yourself. So in similar manner, see, as part of Humanity Week, events are held in school so that students can learn to get along with each other. As head prefect, you have been asked to give a talk means give a speech means to speak on creative goodwill among the students. So children, before starting with the draft, I would like to tell you, whatever is spoken on the stage, whatever speech is given on the stage for 4 to 5 minutes or for 10 minutes or so, that is always well prepared. Never underestimate the person that their hard labor. Never ignore that the speech is given like that only. No, the speech is not speech only, it is a written draft. First it is written, then it is understood, it is learnt, and then it is delivered on stage, right? So as head prefect, you have been asked to give a talk on creative goodwill among the students. So see how it begins. Good morning to the principal, teachers and friends. Speech would also always begin like this only. Good morning to all my teachers, students, friends, right? So this is Humanity Week, a week when we should remember the importance of human values and good human relationships. See, you are telling the audience that the Humanity Week is celebrated to realize the importance of human values and human relationships. Like in this materialistic world, everybody is running after money. Everybody is minting money and they are not wasting even a single minute. Like all the time, people are people are after earning money and taking pleasure. So but socially, if we think, we need people around us. We need to remember to appreciate them and enjoy their presence in our life. You would always love that kind of fellow. Suppose there is a teacher, suppose there is a fellow, at least like once a day they pay compliment to 3 to 4 people. Like there are several people who pay compliment even if small achievements are there. Suppose like you have delivered a speech in the morning assembly, or you have read the news in the morning assembly. That's a small effort, right? But yes, there are people who appreciate you. Suppose you have read the news in morning assembly, that's just paper reading, but even then they compliment you that you did very well, keep it up, right? It was awesome. So you feel good, a kind of good feeling, a kind of positive feeling or positive vibes come from that person. So there are a few people who always compliment others, who always say you are looking nice, may you have a good day, your speech was very good, your dress is very good, your hairstyle is good. Praising others over little things, so that matters a lot to them. So it may be a little bit effort on the part of a speaker, but yes, that means a lot to the ones whom compliment is being paid, right? So see, some people we meet are unreasonable, it is written. Some people we meet in life are irrational, self-centered, they don't talk to others. Forgive them in life if they are so. Like if you have such people, such friends, such classmates who are unreasonable, who get irritated very soon, who are irrational, so ignore these people. But there are some people who are pleasant, who give compliment, as I gave you examples, who compliment others, who praise others, who are kind to others, who are always ready to help others. So who look for occasions to help others, like who make others feel that they are always available for help whenever it is required. They lose their sleep, rest, and even sometimes they help others by giving them money if the need arises, right? So we cannot calculate our gains in this matter. Our duty is to be good to people. Not everyone we meet will be good, but that must not stop us from being good ourselves, right? So live a good life always, and build good relationships and enjoy the friendships, enjoy the relationships. Like, stop being corrupt, have strong moral values, and don't be tempted by the success and money. That is, if somebody has more money or more power as compared to others, don't be jealous. Work with honesty and set your standards high. Do good behavior with others and be an example. Be an example for others, right? So dear friends, do your best always, and if all of us try to do our best to be good human beings, the world will definitely be a better place to live in. Don't we want that? Obviously we want that, right? So thank you everyone. So next two examples, children, you have to do by yourself. I will read the title for you. So you are to write a speech on the measures that should be taken to preserve our wildlife. So you can begin it again with the same thing. Good morning, principal, teachers, and dear friends. So you would tell them something about wildlife. So how wildlife is being destroyed by the people, how people are getting more and more control over the jungles, how the jungles are being cleaned, and how we are depriving many species of the flora and fauna. Forest is the home to several species. It's a home to many species. So like how we are losing a lot of species because we are cleaning the forest. Why we should save it and how we can save it. Like forest, I told you, those are the habitats for numerous species of flora and fauna. And dwindling forests mean dwindling wildlife. If we destroy forests, that mean we are destroying the wildlife, right? So both the governmental as well as the efforts on the part of people should be described in such type of speech, right? What people should do on their behalf, what controls government bodies should take, right? So these things should be mentioned. And yes, you can also mention what steps have been taken by the government. See, example is given, the success of Project Tiger is a clear example of how such conservation programs are, right? So how successfully the government is doing and what measures are still pending, like what can still be done in this regard. So the public can play its part by becoming green consumers, like how they can buy products, how they can refuse those products which are made by using animal parts. So authorities should intervene into the matter and stop the destruction of forests and elimination of wildlife. Like what are the threats, and see how those threats can be turned into opportunities, right? So this kind of matter should be included in this speech. Last example, you are to write a speech on ways of reducing pollution. That's very easy, which is to be delivered during assembly on the World Environmental Day. So same beginning, like how our environment is doing, how we are polluting it. See, if there are 5 members in a house, they would be having at least 6 to 7 vehicles. How we are exhausting our resources, and how where public transport could be used easily, so how people make use of their own vehicles, how they ignore the environment, and how they are polluting it every new day. So they are not paying any attention towards the fact that if individual will do the effort, it would benefit the entire society. They only feel that yes, if one person is doing, what difference it would make. But that every person's effort is required to make a big difference in our environment. The steps to curb pollution, to educate people, to make them aware, right? The people who are still ignorant, or the people the controls which should be from the government, from the side of government. How our ozone layer is being affected by this, right? So many people do not even know that plastic, glass and paper can be recycled, and these can prevent a lot of pollution by reducing waste. Like when the public is better informed, so they do efforts to reduce pollution, they do efforts to recycle the products which can be recycled, and that would be beneficial to the society only, nobody else, right? You can also conclude it by giving several suggestions, by giving suggestions like we should buy environment friendly products, environmentally safe products and reasonably priced products to to be attractive to the average customer. Like for example, not many consumers are aware of the existence of biodegradable products and their benefits of cutting down environmental pollution. So those customers would be interested in buying recycled and environment friendly products. So as such, there should be more encouragement for consumers to buy environmental friendly products. So how it can be reduced, what efforts are required, how we can make our world green, right? Green and clean. So this should be included in this kind of speech draft, right? I hope the guidelines are clear, and do this as your homework and put your queries in the comment box. I'll be happy to take that. Thank you.